Today, House Financial Services Committee Chair Patrick McHenry weighs in on the state of crypto regulation. Italy preps guidelines on how to apply the European Union's crypto rules. And Rennick Paley of Stratos breaks down how his crypto-focused VC firm is thinking about the industry amid changing regulations and wavering prices. Crypto prices rising slightly today, with Bitcoin holding above $57,000 as of noon Eastern. The cryptocurrency briefly crossed $59,000 overnight, hours after Fed Chair Jay Powell testified on Capitol Hill and laid out the risks of keeping rates high for too long. Ether rose nearly 2% this morning, trading above $3,100, and Solana climbed about 0.5%. Now, also this morning, Professional Capital Management CEO Anthony Pompliano went on CNBC's Squawk Box, where he weighed in on Bitcoin's recent losses and provided his outlook for the cryptocurrency.
Prices go down because there's more sellers than buyers, obviously. And so the question is who's selling? And there's really two main culprits at the moment. The German government has about 50,000 Bitcoin that they seized from a pirating website, and they've been trying to offload it. What's interesting about it, if you look at the on-chain data, is they're basically going to as many exchanges as they can and trying to sell. And so they're about halfway through that right now. It's about $2.5 billion. They've sold about $1.5 billion or so. And then there's also the Mt. Gox Bitcoin that's been distributed. And so I think people more so are scared, hey, if there's billions of dollars being distributed back, are these people who have been illiquid for years just going to sell it? What's really interesting about this is Bitcoin is still very illiquid. And so there's most of the Bitcoin that is out there being held by people that have a long-term view. And so when a seller shows up with just a couple billion dollars, the price will go down. Now, if I told you someone was going to come sell billions of dollars and the price was only going to go down to $55,000 or so, that's actually pretty bullish, right? I think that people are looking at this and saying, hey, look, Bitcoin is still pretty healthy.
Okay, let's talk about the top stories for today. House Financial Services Committee Chair Patrick McHenry also joined CNBC's Squawk Box this morning, where he discussed the state of crypto regulation. McHenry was asked about President Biden's veto of a House joint resolution that would have repealed the SEC's Staff Accounting Bulletin 121. That accounting guidance directs financial institutions holding crypto for customers to keep the assets on their own balance sheets. In Biden's statement announcing the veto back in May, the president said his administration would not support any measures that, quote, jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors. Weeks after President Biden vetoed the bill passed by both chambers of Congress, the legislation is back on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers would need a veto-proof supermajority, a 2/3 vote, for it to pass once again.
A lot's changed since we had this original vote. And the original vote in the House, we had 21 Democrats join with the Republicans to repeal this Biden rule that says you have to hold crypto like it's some other object, not like you hold banks traditionally hold things in custody. And so it actually makes those that own crypto go to less reliant folks to hold their assets than more reliant people and safer folks. And so we had 21 Democrats vote for that. We had 71 Democrats in the House vote for a full market regulation of crypto, another major initiative out of the House. 71 Democrats voted for that. What was contained in that bill was the repeal of this very rule that only 21 Democrats voted for. So that, I think, enables us to get a higher vote total today. And then the fact that we're in a political year and people are looking around and realizing it's a really bad position to be against what your voters want and having clarity for crypto. With more Americans owning crypto and more Americans interested in the asset class and the use of these things, it would be crazy for a politician to stand in the way of that. And so we're going to give them the opportunity to move today from their original position from 3 months ago.
Next, presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump's rising support of crypto could help him in the upcoming election, according to an industry-sponsored poll released today. The poll, conducted by Echelon Insights and sponsored by industry group Paradigm, found that 13% of Republicans who were not planning to vote for the former president like his newfound embrace of crypto and were more likely to vote for him now. Respondents also said they want Congress to do something about unclear crypto regulation, with 60% saying that Congress should pass legislation that establishes clear and predictable rules for crypto companies and entrepreneurs. Yesterday, we told you that the Republican Party has officially adopted a new policy platform that would seek to support crypto innovation. Last, the Bank of Italy is expected to publish guidelines on how to apply the upcoming European Union rules for crypto. That's according to Bank of Italy Governor Fabio Panetta's speech yesterday to the Italian Banking Association. Panetta said that in the coming days, the bank will publish guidelines aimed at facilitating an effective application of the EU's Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation, also known as MiCA. The goal? Helping preserve the smooth functioning of the markets and to protect crypto holders. He said MiCA outlines two main categories of tokens that meet the requirements to be used in payments. But the Bank of Italy only found one of those, electronic money tokens, or EMTs, able to, quote, fully perform the means of payment function while preserving the public's trust. An EMT's value is linked to a singular official currency. All right, back to markets for our main story. Crypto World's Mackenzie Sigalo spoke with Renick Paley, founding partner of crypto-focused VC firm Stratos, to get his reaction to the recent moves in crypto prices. He also weighs in on VC trends and whether recent regulatory action could put a pause on new investment.
Okay, so let's start with the markets. You've got Bitcoin sliding to the 50,000s, Ether somewhere between 2,900 to 3,100. What do you make of this slow pullback that we've been seeing since the highs in March?
A lot of it is driven by the recent information around Bitcoin being sold by both the German government as well as the release of Bitcoin from Mt. Gox, which is an exchange that went bankrupt almost a decade ago that's been holding Bitcoin for some time now.
So taking that and looking at your business, Stratos, a VC firm that focuses on crypto projects, how are you thinking about investing in the crypto space? We did see a spike in VC activity for crypto earlier this year, but what sorts of projects or strategies are you most interested in during this lull between all the highs and investor interest?
Yeah, so for us, the time frame on our funds is 10 years. So we have a much longer time frame than what's happening in the last quarter or the last few months. That being said, people tend to view crypto cycles in 4-year periods. And so we're at the early stages of a new bull market. We saw things come off the bottom in late 22, early 23, and we've had pretty much a straight line up for all of crypto since then. This is a short pullback, but we're expecting crypto to go much higher over the next year to 18 months. And so our portfolios are positioned accordingly with a number of projects that plan to launch tokens and create new networks over that time period.
Now, also in the headlines is this news that the SEC is suing Consensus, putting into question whether the agency is going to go after Ethereum more broadly. Does that weigh in on decision-making for projects that you fund? Do Ethereum-linked projects feel more hands-off right now until the dust settles?
I would say that the sentiment has shifted considerably in the last few weeks as the Democrat Party seems to have moved towards a more pro-crypto stance in response to the Republican pro-crypto views. And so the view is that, the SEC is likely to back off a lot of their approach towards being prosecuting crypto projects. So by and large, the industry is just moving forward irrespective.
I mean, sure, but they just sued Consensus. So it doesn't really seem as though any sort of softening stance from the Democrats or from the White House has any sort of impact right now. But you're not concerned, though.
Yeah, look at Congress. I mean, Congress tends to be has shifted to be pro-crypto. If you look at the FIT 121 bill or the SAP 21 bill, in both cases, there was a lot of bipartisan support for that. So the expectation is generally that the SEC will become more pro-crypto. Now, I can't speak to the specifics of the Consensus case. Obviously, they control MetaMask, which is a highly used wallet in the space. And there may be specifics to that case that are unique there. But by and large, what we expect to see going forward is tokens being able to take revenues that the projects are generating and pay them back to the owners of those tokens, much like you would see dividends or share buybacks happening in the traditional markets.
So where are the most interesting developments for crypto right now? Is it in the US? Is it abroad?
Generally everywhere. So we're seeing a lot of advancements in the US on the academic side. So developing new layer one protocols, things like zero knowledge proofs, fully homomorphic encryption, et cetera. And then in Asia, there's just a lot of consumer interest. So seeing a lot of engagement from the typical retail user in Asia, and we expect a lot of the growth that will happen on the social side coming from Asia.
Do you feel like the interest in these projects is still there outside of crypto enthusiasts? We saw some reporting from Fortune that Goldman Sachs might launch tokenization projects this year. Is the momentum there outside of crypto fans going to keep building?
Yeah, a lot of that is driven by price action. So when you see Bitcoin reach new all-time highs, people who maybe forgot about crypto or thought crypto was dead come back into the market. So price action is one of the things that drives attention initially. And then new applications. So like I mentioned, social, but also DeFi and even meme coins bring average people who maybe aren't engaged in crypto or aren't interested in the technology into it. So just like what we saw with early internet, things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, bringing people into the internet that otherwise wouldn't have been, we're going to see the same thing in crypto over the next few years.
Okay, that's all we have for Crypto World today. We're back again tomorrow. We'll see you then.